Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cookie B.
What do you see when you look at she? Maybe a surface view called the physical. You may simply see a light-skinned, four-eyed, borderline chocolate individual. At least in the summertime, because that's when she's the tannest. Chill swag, big hair, cute and classy with your visual, but what about if all that vanished? Would you know her by the permanent colors that made the true images of her canvas? Often known for the good in she, and well, there's nothing wrong with that. But it becomes a problem as she's mistaken perfected, and expectations are placed on her as if she's still not a mess. See, the fact that she struggles is something that people carelessly overlook. But she can never really blame them because the reader isn't the easiest open book. See, she's complicated. Yeah, it's simple. And that alone may sound complicated, but to her the complication is by only a little. That middle child who never had a choice. That kid who wanted out of the spotlight, who rarely used her voice. See, she's partially stubborn and pride is her struggle. So God made her clumsy to keep her humble, and the only reason she still scores is because God is always there to catch her fumble. She's brave, saved by his grace. She likes Mickey Mouse, but prefers to live life goofy, delivering smiles and laughter like a Will Ferrell movie. She enjoys finding loopholes in the rules to validate her crazy ideas, all while building a relation with people who've been around for many and few years. She is intelligent. She is bold, making every life lesson a story to be told, all pointing back to the greatest story ever told. She is me, and I'm here to give you rhetoric. All for betterment, wordplay to get you from behind these bars by stacking truths next to what's relevant. Proof to reverse what's evident, to present a you that shows you elegant. Case closed, go and get your settlement, because negligent individuals should have no room to diminish your purpose to be excellent. Removing you from your element by placing you in a room full of they elephants, and the stench has got you stressing on why your life just ain't progressing, draining you of your good and draining you of your greatness. But tell me, how do you expect to reach your penthouse when you comfy chilling in the basement with your mind low as the pavement, because all you bang with is rats, chumps, and fakers? Listen, who you surround yourself with has a lot to say about what you're reflecting, and what you consume has a lot to do with how well you're digesting. But we won't get into that lesson, because tonight you sit at my table, and regardless of what you're used to, you can leave with a taste or prepare for a plateful. Good evening. What's up? My name is Courtney. My real government name is Courtney, but I go by Cookie B. So you can call me Cookie for the night. Is that cool? Yeah. That's cool? Okay, cool. That's cool. Okay, so how are you guys? How you doing? Good. You good? Blessed and highly favored. You real good. So you good? You fine? Yeah. Yes? Well, I got $10 to say at least two of y'all in here lying. And it's time to separate the real from the fake. It's time to talk about those who keep it 100 versus what it means to relate. I mean, what does it mean to be real, authentic, and true? Because nowadays, people tend to only relate it to how well they present yourself to you. We live in a time where transparency is mistaken for a mirror. Like, if I clean up my surface, then I can show you yourself clearer with lies like, I'm fine, good thanks, I'm chilling. Knowing daggone well you got things bottled up inside you that prevent you from living. But real really ain't real no more. Real ain't reality because we act like we don't feel no more, and you will never be the realest if you don't present yourself the clearest. Stop with the filters and show that you're ill. Ill like sick because your smiles of medicine only hide the symptoms like an egg over a chick. And if you keep flicking your wrists, your scars will eventually show. Band-aids and bruises, bumps, cuts, you're losing, but you turn off the scoreboard so nobody sees your gameplay. It really ain't producing. Results, you're far from it. And it results in a log in your eye growing bigger in size while the fruit in your branches shrivel and die. But you rather not hear that. Correction, you rather not listen. You've been real with everyone else, telling them how they're lacking and where they're missing, but you fail to be real with yourself. I mean, you've got so much to say when it comes to anyone else, but when it comes to you, you front perfected. Then go home to your infected reflections, sitting in uncorrected depressions to plan out tomorrow's impressions, or should I say oppressions, because your discretion and lack of confession causes a disconnection within yourself. And so I've got a question. Why do you hide your imperfections? Aren't they the very things that turn your trials into lessons or your troubles into blessings? The very things that make you grateful that you're growing like the rest of us, the very things that make you different, that despite it, God still sees the best in us. I mean, Jesus came to die for our sins and make do with our flaws. That was his job. So hiding yours from the world is pretty much equivalent to you saying, I don't need a God. A waste of the grace he paid so dearly to provide, like spitting his face front and saying, I'm perfect and it's because of me I'm alive. So for me, I will strive in this race to show the best of me, and if my bad ever gets out, I promise you, that'll be the death in me. You place boulders on yourself as you place these weights on yourself. Fear and pride of you admitting you need saving, and too much guilt to look in the mirror, fall to your faces and bask in his greatness. But don't get caught in the hype of the world's opinions. Blind to the fact it's him who you're missing, because by him you're commissioned to be everything but in prison in your condition. So I suggest you take that as permission to walk in this revision of how you handle your afflictions. He'll take his shine and make you glisten. He'll take these lines and make you listen. He'll take these bars and make you grip them. Have you flipping, hopping, skipping, all Jesus turn like, call me Christian. Canceling out religion because you know you've been forgiven and your flaws are purpose driven. So I suggest you take that as permission to walk in. Take that as permission to start a new tradition of how you handle your affliction, showing that he is risen by being open in opposition, so the world sees his depiction in your life like television, and let the measure of your realness be in your choice of that decision. Thanks. Okay. Okay, so I'm terrible with commentary between poems. I usually flow into all of them because I'm really clumsy with words, because they tell stories and I try to fill in the blanks, but it's really hard. So, hey, I'm thankful that you guys are here. Thank you for coming. I'm honored to be here on this evening. I'm gonna tell a few stories. I have four stories to tell. So I'm gonna tell a few stories, and yeah, I'll be out of your way. That's cool?
Stay up there all night.
All night? I don't have that much. Okay, so this first one, so you guys know, you graduate from high school and they tell you to go to college, and they're like, college is fun, right? They tell you it's going to be one of the greatest experiences of your life. They tell you it's going to be amazing. They tell you it's going to be, you're going to love it. Despite how much you don't want to go away or how much you may want to go away, they're just like, it's fun. College is supposed to be fun. But I went to college, and while I was there, I was often criticized because my mind didn't work like the majority. I was ridiculed because I didn't view things like my generation, or most would see I was set aside and set apart. Left to walk alone in the dark with not a friend or companion to back me up as dogs bark. See, I was placed in places full of opinions and weak belief, and in college, I was actually threatened to be dismissed if I kept being loud about the truth I see. Never was I comfortable. Never did I wake up feeling this is what I want to do. But I knew my eyes had nothing on God's throne, and it was never about me, but it was always about he who gave everything to set me free. And so, lost friends in a sleepless car accident later, I knew it was time for me to get comfortable being uncomfortable, to be okay with being intolerable, spit on my car and notes on my door, so many reasons for me to say I don't want to do this anymore. But I kept pressing because I cannot complain. I got brothers and sisters in other countries who get gunned down standing in Jesus' name. And I got brothers and sisters here who rather stay silent and sit. They couldn't care less about being God's first round pick. They'd rather watch the game from the stands or the bench, so as soon as the season gets tough, they can be the first ones to chuck deuces and quit. But the faith walk is not for the faint-hearted. And I'd be lying if I said it ain't hard. It's not all glitz and glamour. We might stammer, but we ain't falling. The last thing we need is a gang of believers with a card of salvation kept only where they can see it. Blending in the world like chameleons, sitting silent in a room like librarians, only for a pat on the back or head nod from a bunch of human carrions. The light of the world with a shade on, trying not to shine so bright, but how you all in the world with no truth laid homes when none of your neighbors know Christ? And so I dare you to be different. I dare you to be bold. I dare you to step outside of your box and strut your faith mode. The world is made nauseous by our faith author. So ready to take vomit, look to Jesus and run the race onward. In peace. In peace. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Where do I want to go next? Okay, so talking about this light, right? We're told, you're the light of the world. You're supposed to be light, do light. Yes, go light, right? What is light? What does that mean? You don't really know what it means. So as a child, you're taught to sing a song. I don't know, you guys might know it. This Little Light of Mine. You know that song? Can we sing like the chorus of it? Okay, are you ready? I'm not going to start it. Y'all going to start it. Okay? I'm going to give you three. 3, 2, 1.
This little light of mine
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Because you're supposed to be light, so you gotta let it shine, right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Like, don't let it go dim, ever, in your whole life. But how the heck are you supposed to do that? Nobody knows. From children to babes in the faith, we're taught to sing this old hymn as we agree we've been saved by his grace. Assigned and called to duty to be reflections of his beauty, running this race of life faithful and truly because of this band he placed on our fingers. Call us his groupies. We should forever be living in all of his presence, allowing our actions and beings to give reverence to everything he is and nothing he is not, because everything we are is a product of everything he bought. But how do we do that when all we're surrounded by is dark? We live in a world where being a Christian is turning into nothing more than a church visit in dress clothes, where it's okay to believe no matter what you believe, whether it's Adam and Steve or a theory of neon trees. Real or make-believe, you'll be gladly supported. Fall for anything and they'll be happy to spoil you. I mean, it's okay for you to do anything and everything. Well, everything but one thing. Don't go against the rule. The rule of only doing what they want you to. See, they don't want your cell phone light of a distraction ruining their movie theater experience. But the moment the movie stops and the theater goes dark, what's the first thing someone goes looking for if someone drops their keys? Light, please. Or think of it in the sense of a concert where pop stars encourage their fans to shine bright like a diamond, overlooking the fact that even diamonds don't shine if you never let the light in. But being that light is our job. See, we were called to be in the midst but set apart, like mere exit signs in this dark, glowing red like blood signs for all who seek saving. The emergency lights of direction. People should be able to look at you and see him without question, but every moment you show a disconnection from your source is the moment you endorse another course. So what makes you different? What makes you you? What sets you apart from those on your jobs and at your schools? You were called to be light, but how bright do you display that in your everyday grooves? Outside of these four walls and apart from the fellowship, are you aligned with the reason you're connected to what's heaven sent? Love God, love people, make disciples. Strive to live by God's standard regardless of the penalty. Bear fruit and pour love on all, friend, family, enemy, and boldly build believers who repeat that unrelentlessly. Tell me, what is the purpose of being a Christian if you won't fulfill your mission? The same as a light bulb if you never turn it on. The same as a flame if you never let it burn. Tell me, what is the purpose of something that won't serve its purpose? A mere image on the outside with no content. It's worthless. In peace. Okay, I have two more. So, in light of being in college and like going through like all of life, you guys good? You okay? Yeah? Yes? Okay, so yeah, in light of being in college and like that terrible experience I thought it was when it happened, looking back, it's like, oh, it was great. But one thing it did make me cautious of was my culture. It gave me It made me cautious of black culture and stuff because I wasn't really into it. But once I was there, it's like, oh, you guys, this stuff matters. Okay, this is good. Black Lives Matter. Great. So being out of it, I started to pay attention to things that were going on around me and stuff. And one day this particular day, it was Saturday, April 25th, 2015, and I couldn't believe some of the things my eyes had just seen. I was sitting in traffic at Orius Park, and what do you do when what starts as something peaceful suddenly stops? When anger knocks and violence comes in, I was sitting one car away from an intersection full of those who share my same skin. Picking a fight that was labeled for justice but looks like revenge. Religious bystanders looking down like, look at this sin. City-goers turning the blind eye like those ain't my friends. And the young people involved with attitudes like I will not bend. I'm frustrated and I'm weak. It already saddens me to see how we're treated, but it kills me to see how poorly all parties responded then. I mean, I don't think we get it. Nah, I don't think we get it, but who am I talking to? I'm talking to the ignorant. But the ignorant won't listen, so this is my open letter. This is my hope cry that the cries will get better. But what's better ain't better if their better is terror. Outsiders looking in like, look at this air. But how can we expect them to know better if they've seen no better? I see your frustration. I feel the same pain, but this ain't new to us. America's been running the same system since Jesus died and simply became news to us. Everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to listen. Everybody got to cry, but nobody's grabbing tissues. Where are the Band-Aids to aid with the wounds? Where are the outsiders who can say, I can relate to you? We were misguided from the come up as a toddler and through adolescence. In other words, we grew up with these blind eyes and we're convinced we don't need the glasses. See, a lot of these cops get suspended, and that's reason enough to clap. And all cops aren't the same, so let's be grateful for that. But in the same light, every black man and a get back man who deserves his back cracked or his shot, all because you couldn't tell the difference between your taser and your Glock. Eric Harris, Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, Walter Scott, the names go way further back in history, but right now we got too much media in the way to get an uncorrupted listening. So word to the unaffected. America, stop comparing our anger to the wrath that we don't have. See, they call us animals to provoke us to go Planet of the Apes because they don't communicate like their orangutan behinds ain't ultimately related to the gorilla. Like they in love with some chocolate but swear it started with vanilla, got them in love with the cocoa but mad at it like it's the reason for the widening of their torsos. When these Bamas chose to eat it, like America's got my people screaming like I can't breathe, while you America, you look back like, well, I can't see, so I'm gonna turn the other cheek because I can't feel and I'm not listening. I dragged you into this land. What makes you think I want to pick you up so I can understand your differences? But to my black community, welcome to the unhyphenated America, where they either love to hate or love to love only because they're scared of you. Keep in mind, you didn't choose the brown life. The brown life chose you. It's not your fault they continuously try to pick us off the vine like bad fruit. You know that handful of berries where you throw out what looks bruised, forgetting that the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice? Yeah. So violence isn't the answer, but silence isn't either. Then again, who are we to say when we did the same thing to Jesus? Whooped him, beat him, sat silently in a room while Bamas blatantly mistreat him. We act like we don't know pain. And regardless of your skin hue, your religious views, or your misguided avenues, if you can't identify with pain, then you've got bigger problems within you. And I'd be lying if I said I'm not affected. I'd be ignorant to turn a blind eye to the pain that's ejected. So welcome to the unhyphenated America, where a cop is turning into nothing more than an excuse to get away with murder, while a black man, he stands tall good without the heart to even hurt him. My heart is burdened and I'm weak. I mean, I got family and friends with the same pigment in their skin, and the black in me makes me an equal to all those who were ever left to unjustly rot to their cause. More so, I serve a God with a heart bigger than this world, and it wouldn't be Christ-like of me to throw salt in the wounds or be heartless, all because that wasn't my blood left to ooze or my city left to ruins. So let it be known that I see you, and I'm listening. To every hyphenated individual left in America without a mention, God sees our fight, and he's fixing it. But until the end results, we gotta be the hands, feet, and voice of the unheard with anticipation that God is gonna get his glory, and justice will be served. Yeah, funny. This is cool. Okay, so I'm at my last piece. This is fun. This one coincides with the last one. In the midst of all the Black Lives Matter stuff, and it's like, you know, people getting shot for no reason and dying and nobody cares. It makes you, you know, as a black person, you're like walking, when you go outside, you're kind of cautious to things that are going on around you. Like, that could be me, you know? It could be me. You know, no matter your grade point average, no matter what stuff you're involved in, it could be you, like any day. So it's getting warm outside and I like to jog. So I went for a jog the other day and it was nice. I ran at a moderate pace. And 3 miles in, I was like, Cookie, you can finish this race, because I was secretly competing with myself. But as I ran, I began to reflect on things going on in the world around me. And as I reflected, I became cautious of each car that passed me. And as they passed me, I began to have thoughts of what would happen if one stopped and someone got out and grabbed me. But not just anyone, the ones in uniforms of blue. With thoughts like, if they see me running, they'll pursue, then use the excuse, she's up to something, and we wanted to stop her from getting to where she was running to. And no matter how much I cried innocent or pleaded my case, they'll seek reason to beat me or take shots to my face. Like, no matter the way I move to cooperate, they'll be provoked to provoke me, then swear it's not about race. Nowadays, you can be as innocent as you please and still take shots to make you drop to your knees. Shots to your face, or maybe no gas, since you hung yourself with a trash bag, then took a mugshot, dead and flat on your back. This mess is ridiculous. The excuses ain't even legitimate, let alone do they make a lick of sense. These Bammers got hood gangsters cautious walking down the streets that they live on, and parents hesitant to let the children outside because of fear they won't live on. Unarmed and relevant. America fails to realize these black lives matter more than these green-faced dead presidents. And no matter how much we try to shed light on the cause, they'll continue to leave these murders unsolved. And I'm at a point where I couldn't care less about what they do about it because they blatantly work around it. And no matter how much we talk about it, a social media post will never be enough. Because the media socially posts things that'll keep us let's interrupt that social stuff. And oh shucks, they got us screaming about what matters again, chasing after the hot topics with faith that we won't notice. It's those that they aren't stopping. America's out here like, as long as it's something they talk about, then they should be cool. I mean, who cares if officials really ain't making no moves? We got them distracted. We got it out there enough for them to believe something different should happen, but that's about as dead as Fred. Degrade because these gray skies are the only ones we promote in the images they portray. Then again, maybe dead like Mike Brown, since the holder of your mic is brown and the majority of us don't like the brown. We'd rather take life from brown than fight for brown. Remove Tamir's crayon before we let you color in our white with brown. This is America, where a black man, where if a hunter shoots lion, everybody's crying, but if a hunter shoots black American, legal systems start lying. This is America. They cry over lions before black life, and we don't even bite. But have you ever noticed in this deep red, white, and blue sea of America, the black whales who stay to themselves are called killers, while the white sharks who do all the killing are called great? Yet despite their name or color of face, they love to put them on their stages for blackfish entertaining. It's like their new age blackface entertainment brought to you by real life black faces. And as I sit and I write in the night, of the things that I see in my sight, the things that I feel as they die, the things that I hear as they cry, I couldn't bring myself to care enough. Sandra Bland, there ain't enough fight in my hands, there ain't enough stance in my stance, Sandra Bland. Looking in my rear view, praying that if this cop pulls me over, he'll see not to do what his peers do, because Lord knows I didn't ask for this skin's hue, but he saw fit for me to take it. So I must embrace it, and if I'm faced with opposition, I gotta trust God made me equipped enough to shake it. Yeah, we may mourn and shed some tears. This could go on for months or last some years. This ain't the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end. We're smack dab in the middle of a land that lacks our friends. Praying for hope, praying for peace, looking for signs of relief, trying to cope, trying to release the pain that sleeps inside of thee. But we got people in disbelief and too heartless to comfort the hearts that grieve. Too caught up in the cause to shut up and comfort the hearts in need. But imagine our traces if all could see. The best way we can help the situation is if we comfort those who grieve from the corruption of this nation. Thanks. So that was my last long piece. I can share something short. I think I got some time left. That's funny. So sometimes I think I'm a rapper, right? Like, I swear I'm a rapper without bass in the trunk. It's just, I think I can rap. I don't rap though. So, I listen to rap, and it's usually like God-centered rap. You know, it's gospel rap, but it's not whack. It's tight. You saw how that rhyme, whack rap. So it's usually really cool. Well, I'm not gonna make it sound corny. You just gotta ride with me. So, yeah. So people will get in my car and they'll listen to my music, and they're like, "Yo, Cookie, what is this?" And I'm like, "That's gospel." And they're like, "This gospel, man? This ain't Christian, dude. Gospel's in the church where grandma screaming, shout out hallelujah." And I'm like, "You're tripping. Open up your ears and listen to the words that's in the song. Let me just put you on, because Jesus be on my dome, so I ooze him out my speakers. Following him straight home, it's for him I am a tweeter. See, I go hard for the Father. These cats, they all want me martyred. You think you bad, beg your pardon. Your life is softball or cotton. See, I don't bang with you. Everything's the same with you. I only bang for the king who makes it rain on you. This here ain't just something to do. We got to bear some fruit, because this flesh kills, and it has a foul odor. But when I burn it up, it sends Jesus a sweet aroma. So I stand for Jehovah, and I will never leave. And you can do what you want, but soon you drop to your knees while you rolling with them things. Got bait, got clothes, got paper. I pop the trunk and let it bang. Glory to the Creator. Thank you.